every program, every policy they push, and it's bad for 99.9% of us. And that's what people need to figure out who are on the fence out there. It's time for you to do the research. It's time for you to get involved. It's time for you to find out who the globalists really are. A good place to begin is whatistheendgame.com or endgamethemovie.com. It has a full online document bibliography for every minute of the film. And the film is linked and posted for free right there on the site. $100,000 film I made. It's free. You can buy the DVD if you want it in the highest quality with the expanded extras, and also support us at Infowars.com. That's a good place for a new listener to start. End Game Blueprint for Global Enslavement. And it's a 2.5-hour film with nothing but globalists openly announcing world government, their videos of them saying it, their own documents, the regions, the master plan, how the EU was really set up in 57. The public wasn't told until 2000. They even brag about that now. How we've already merged the North American Union with what they call the Atlantic Union with Europe, and Bush at the Rose Garden saying it. I mean, look, I'm not the brain surgeon here. I'm not the rocket scientist. I'm not the quantum mechanics physicist. I know how to study empires. I know how to study history, and I've studied it, and it's right there telling us what they're doing, and all I'm doing is relaying it to you. All right, I said I'd take your phone calls, and then I'll get into the whole Egypt situation and the WikiLeaks situation and all of it. But Paul Joseph Watson's article is so vital for folks to read. It's up on prisonplanet.com and Infowars.com. WikiLeaks bombshell points to 9/11 stand down. And, of course, they hide this in plain view. And people are like, well, then aren't you saying WikiLeaks is good? No, they put this out to try to bolster the myth of all these al-Qaeda people creeping around. But hidden in plain view is the admitted order to not give the FBI this information on 9/11. Then there's the other article, latest round of WikiLeaks docs, Hype Manufactured Terror by Kurt Nimmo. Both essential, looking at it from different angles. Meanwhile, the neocons are exploiting fear of the Muslim Brotherhood to push war. Meanwhile, this is continuing the globalist policy that transcends Republican and Democratic parties. Don't you understand? It's now been declassified that our government put Mao Zedong into power in 49. That's even on the History Channel. It's been declassified that in 1917, the U.S. and British government sent over 30,000 people from Brooklyn, New York, with weapons, with a trainload of gold. They shipped it over there, then put it on a train, brought it in to put the Bolsheviks in power, and then Ford and General Motors and all of them built the weapon systems for the Russians. They built the weapon systems for the Nazis because they're bankers. They go to Hitler and say, we'll finance your war machine. They go to Stalin, we'll finance your war machine. And then, oh, there's the Soviet and the Nazi threat. Their allies taking over Poland. We better build up a big army here. And the bankers then bankroll that. And then the bankers play those parts off against each other. Just like they're destroying Egypt right now. The stability. A dictatorship, oppressive, low standard of living. But now they're going to get rid of somebody who was modernizing some of the systems and bring in the Muslim Brotherhood run by a UN lackey as they openly chant death to Israel. We're going to overthrow Saudi Arabia. We're going to overthrow Jordan. That's the destabilization campaign, getting the chessboard ready for the next move into a World War III scenario, as we've been saying in the last week, and what now is in the news today. WikiLeaks. Tension in the Middle East and Asia has direct potential to lead to nuclear war. Tension in the Middle East and Asia has given rise to the escalating atomic arms and missile race, which has direct political and potential to lead to nuclear war. Leaked diplomatic documents disclose. Again, tension in the Middle East and Asia have given rise to a escalating atomic arms and missile race, which has the direct potential to lead to nuclear war. Leaked diplomatic documents disclose. Well, what did the Rand Corporation 2 years ago say they wanted? A major world war, not just something like Iraq or Afghanistan. This is just the prelude to that, but a massive war, but short of a nuclear war. That's why the grand chessboard centers in and around the Middle East and Central Asia, as Kissinger and Brzezinski have said, because those are places that don't yet have nukes, but where they can still have proxy wars. And it's globalist waging war against free humanity and against sovereign states, and it's meant to further bankrupt societies. And while we're busy giving up our liberties because we're in a war and giving up our tax money because we're in a war, the bankers can move ahead with their new global currency, and they can get their agenda through. And a lot of times I use movie analogies. 10 minutes ago, I used a James Bond movie analogy of the Chinese fighting fish, where there's 3 fish in the tank. One fish, the smart fish, waits while the other 2 kill each other, or one kills the other but now is wounded and weakened, and the other comes in and takes him out. Here's another one. We'll go to break and come back with your calls for at least 30, 45 minutes, then I'll get into the details of the news here. But this is all just basic understanding of the general stratagem. Now, it's cheesy, it's goofy, but it's one of the most popular movies out there, and so most people listening understand it. But I remember 5 years ago or whatever it was, when Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3 Star Wars came out, seeing major editorials in the New York Times, you name it, saying, we don't understand the plot. Now, this is a movie made for 10-year-olds, but adults couldn't understand it. They said, who is Palpatine working with? The Separatists? The Trade Federation, Count Dooku, the Republic. You know, it doesn't make sense. It made perfect sense. That's how things really work. And George Lucas came out and said at the time at the Cannes Film Festival and said, this is how the world really works. And he said, this is what really happened on 9/11, but didn't elaborate. Now, what do you learn at the end of Episode 3? You've got a senator who hires a criminal group to attack his own planet. When the Imperial Senate doesn't respond fast enough, or wasn't an empire yet, when the Republic doesn't respond, he politically comes in and demands more power for the government to go destroy the Trade Federation or kick them off Naboo. Then he gets more power. Then by the second episode, he uses more crises he's staging, terror groups he's funding, to become elected chancellor. Then he launches attacks on the capital planet with terror groups he's funded secretly, working for decades, to get them to declare him emperor. Then he says that the Jedi are traitors. Hitler wiped out his SA as soon as he got into power. Stalin did the same thing. They always wipe out those that take them to power, or they wipe out the original police force, and he declares himself the emperor. And enslavement accelerates. But adults watch that and they go, I can't understand this. The emperor is funding people to attack him. This doesn't make sense. Because the emperor, in the end, you learn, was attacking the Republic with the outside enemies to get the Republic to build a command and control system in to get rid of the freedom and the checks and balances so he could take over. Why did Hitler firebomb the Reichstag? Right after he got elected. Oh, see, I need to take over. We've been attacked. See, I mean, this is done over and over again. So they are destabilizing the Middle East to create the crisis to offer their World War III solution.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
They helped to create a new world order.
We are part of a new world order.
A new world order based upon collective action.
Invisible Empire is a damning indictment of the globalists through their own words and documents.
The new world order really is a tool for addressing a new world of possibilities.
It means all the world under their control.
The United Nations would take over America. The Trilateral Commission would control the world.
Invisible Empire chronicles how men of power and influence have worked in stealth for centuries to establish an oppressive world government.
I believe, first of all, that we now need nothing short of a world constitution for the global financial system.
Global governance with the establishment of the G20.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
I'm going to go ahead and play this Super Bowl Motorola commercial, and then we're going to come back in the next hour and start going to your calls because it's so important. But finishing up with the Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3, Star Wars allegory or parable to what's happening today, you've got these coalitions that have been funded covertly by Emperor Palpatine, he's not emperor yet, the head of the Senate, to attack the Republic. So the Republic erects a big police state military grid to counter it, but then he uses that very grid to then enslave the Republic and then wipe out the other people that the banksters had funded and put into place. And that's actually how Emperor Palpatine does it. Back when he's a senator, he goes to the banking guild. I mean, George Lucas knows all this stuff. He goes to the banking guild in Episode 1, a decade before, and he gets them to finance his robot army to start wreaking havoc. But he's doing it covertly through the occult. The occult means secret. He does it through his private intelligence agencies. And again, adults could not understand it, even though it was a child's movie. It was child level, and they couldn't even understand it. And that's what's happening with the destabilization of the Middle East. That's what's happening with the globalists financing all of America's enemies, building China up, because they then play all these different groups off against each other, because the answer to the tyranny of China, we're sold, is tyranny here. The answer to the corruption and tyranny of the Middle East is tyranny here. That's how they sell it. Now, shifting gears briefly, this is really shocking. I'm going to have Kurt post it in the next 10, 15 minutes at Infowars.com. This is the rebranding of Big Brother. What's the slogan in 1984? War is peace, freedom is slavery. And they say America and the whole world is under one government, one system, one master plan. See, it's revelation of the method. But they say it's good. And Big Brother is good. 1984 is good. 1984 is freedom. And how many articles, I've been talking about this for a decade, where you see Big Brother's helping. Big Brother isn't so bad. The rebranding of Big Brother. This is changing the Overton window. What you will politically put up with. So they do all these radical, crazy things. TSA sticking their hands down your pants, checkpoints, families being trained to tattle on each other, just to try to get you to normalize the new system that's coming in. So here is the chilling ad. You'll hear the audio, and for radio listeners, I'll read the text off the screen. But for radio listeners, you can go to Infowars.com, where we're posting this right now to see it.